sort of dissolve your responsibility to watch the tag first and foremost and move with the tag. But I want to explain things that you can be looking out for that will be sort of triggers to expect. Um, Always, when you're starting out, you're focusing on being on the tag. You're gonna learn over time as you get more experienced, as you get more comfortable, as the fighting slows down for you because you don't feel the pressure, you don't feel overwhelmed. You will learn how to position yourself more efficiently and get to the sort of ideal and best positioning. However, to get there, start from right on top of the tag rather than start away from the tag and move in towards the tag to get to the ideal positioning. Start from on top of the tag and slowly back off a little bit, depending on your role, to be in the perfect positioning. Now, I'll just go over the most basic things just to reinforce them. Number one, you have to be within the range. I always put the circle so you get an idea. So this is 180 range, and within this range, we got to be within this range. The tag will be at the front of it, and basically to the back of it. That's where we got to be. Right? That's 300 range, and that's the maximum the squat should be separated from front to back. Back line would be at the back of it, along with sort of firebrands, which will be a little bit further up, and so on. Overall, however, again, right at the back of it, you're on the edge. If you're not that comfortable with your movement yet, or you find that you get separated, moving closer. And staying closer until you start being comfortable so you can achieve that sort of ideal positioning. I'm going to talk about range fights, defensive fights, and pushing. So we have different situations here. When we are in the range fight, let's say we're first of all we're sort of moving around, and then eventually I will be saying we're gonna take a range spike up front, and we're gonna move in for a range spike. When we're moving in, at that point, you need to close in. Even if you're a back line, you need to close in right on top of me, so that when I give the call out, say I'm saying pulse in front, and at that point, we're all here to deliver our range spike on top of it. The reason for that is that, as you see it right here, the way we're stacked, front to back, this is still 180 to 200 difference in range. So to be able to deliver that stacked amount of DPS in a small area, because we're delivering a smaller spike, we're not delivering our full bomb, we need to be this tight. Otherwise, it will just get too separated and it will be a line like this, right? So to be able to deliver it all right there on the marker, we need to get in close. So when we're moving in for a range spike, the back line needs to move in and get close to the tag. On the other hand, when we're in a defensive posture, say we're in a defensive posture, and yeah, we're expecting the other team to push on us, then the back line can back off a little bit. You can back off a little bit over there, all right? Because you're behind the tag, and you're not in the way. So the enemy's right there, and the enemy starts coming to push in. The front line can sustain more, so the front line can stay here. The back line can back off a little bit behind, so you can apply the damage on them incoming, and the front line can dodge back. Now the thing, however, is don't go too far back. Right? You gotta be within a distance that you can quickly move in and regroup. Usually, on a situation when we're allowing the enemy to push towards us, or we're expecting a push, I will take a dodge back and we'll regroup. At that point, we might take a counter charge. So this is why it's important. Even if you're staying behind, you're not staying too far. You're staying within this range between me and the triangle. If they apply a bomb on top of the tag, you're still out of range of damage, but you're close enough that you can come back in. Now again, until you feel comfortable being able to close in that distance and get back right on top of the tag, stay closer, even if it means taking more damage that you have to deal with. Stay closer, because separating is the worst thing. Now, most of the time, this is a stance you can take, for example, on a bridge or on a choke, because at that point, the movement is only back and forth. If we're in the open field, don't stay as far back. Stay a little closer, because we might need to move to the side right away. And then if you're too far back, you won't be able to recover to rejoin with me. So let's go on a bridge here. We'll go to this bridge, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so we're here. Enemies wrong button. Enemies over there. Now, if they're pushing towards us, there is only two directional positions here. The movement is back and forth. They have to push into us. At this point, the backline can be over here. You see where the marker is. Backline can be there if we're taking the defensive posture. However, if I say, for example, symbols and empowers, you're moving in right in. You're moving right away inside to get the singles and empowers, because we might actually do a push. But in this situation, it's safe to stay as the sort of glassy backline range DPS. You can stay a little bit further back. Now, second thing on pushes in this particular situation, both theirs and ours. Again, there is the limitation. It's here to here. They cannot come to us from the flank. They have to come at us from the front, or we have to come at them from the front. However, we can still maneuver. We can still maneuver the field and cause them to deliver damage in a specific spot, or deliver our damage in the specific spot. Let's say right side or left side of the bridge. Now, this bridge is a little bit more wide than the ones in WVW, but it will be a little easier to demonstrate my point. Now, if we're going straight up the middle, they're delivering the damage in the middle. And so here's my this is staff 2. It pretty much hits the hole from one end to the other. However, the range of the circle that hits over here is smaller. It's only from here to here. Only here to here. Whereas in the middle, it's the whole length, right? Here is this is a symbol of swiftness, a little bit easier. A lot of the AOE damage is sort of that size. Now again, you can see it in the middle is the longest area. So when we're doing a push, for example, come back a little bit here. Enemies there. We're gonna do a push. We've gotten them to use up some of their range, some of their bomb. So when we're gonna do the push, we're gonna be doing it on the side here, on the side, and going into them, because they're gonna be applying the damage here in the middle. That way, we're catching only the side of their AOEs. Now, their AOEs are not gonna be in one specific single spot. They're gonna be spread out, but overall, the biggest concentration will be in the middle. Think of it as the line separating the lanes on a road. Right on top of the line that separates the lanes, that's where it's going to be the biggest damage. Now, what we can also do is fake that we're pushing this side, so they can rearrange their damage and center it around here, and then come around the side and push the other way to avoid even more damage. The damage here will be even sparser. So this is true also in open field, and you'll see me do that sometimes in open field. Same thing when they're pushing, right? They're going to be doing very much the same thing. They're looking to exploit the same dynamic to get to us by avoiding as much of our damage as possible. So we're looking for their push, and if they're pushing, say the way we're pushing here, how you deliver your damage. Don't deliver it on top. Deliver it like this. You're delivering it like this, like a wedge, right? So if they're pushing here, they have to come across. They're gonna go through damage here, and they have damage in front, damage to the side, and damage in front. That's what you want to do. You want to create a wedge into which they're moving, and so again, imagine they're pushing us right here. We're creating the wedge. They're pushing into damage, and we're dodging out here. And at this point, we have two options. They turn to us. We can either go here, or we can push straight through them and get to their back line. Usually, the better choice is to go forward and through their back line. They're running into our damage. We moved out of theirs. Now we push forward. We hit their back line, and we turn. And we regain a position. We cleave out their back line, and now they're on the other side. We're on this side. This is the next thing I want to go over as well. This is connected. This is very important with OP, for example, and Indo, because he uses a lot of a range spike. He will pull and then use a range spike. However, because their range spike is long, usually, if they're in close, if they got in close enough, they're gonna hit us here. Or they've used up some of their damage. At this point, we can exploit that. They're delivering the range spike. We can dodge in. Their bomb is happening behind us now, right? And we're right up to them. Now we can deliver our pressure. And when they readjust, we're moving, right? And then we're moving across again. And this is the main thing. Damage is projected forward from the tag, very much so. The way their squad is positioned, you can expect a road in front of them that is the highest damage, highest interrupts, and so on. So when we're pushing in, we're looking to be on the side of it. We're looking to skirt it, either left or right. Even when they're over here, if they're facing this way, we're looking to hit right, like this. Now they turn around and are facing us, and then we're looking to move like that and avoid the damage and keep our push going, because that's the biggest sustain skill that we have. It's not really a skill, but that's the biggest sustain effort we can get through avoiding their damage. Movement is key for that, so that's the way to do it. Now in open field, it's a little bit different because you don't have the limitations left and right. So in open field, let's say the guild treasurer, that's the enemy, right? We're exchanging the range bombs, and we're going forward and to the right and dodge one, and we're applying pressure. Now they're turning towards us, and we can either stay ahead because they're dropping damage, we're staying ahead of it and keep bombing, or when their damage starts to be dropped in front, that's when my read comes into play. I'm judging that now we're running into damage instead of running ahead of damage. Then we can just dodge left, and now they're dropping damage here, and we have 1-2 seconds until they redirect their damage. We can exploit that. That's where those movements are very key. Quick movements, and that's how you can overcome bigger numbers as well. In terms of damage delivery, I've touched on this before, but we'll do it again. Now, when I say that their damage is a line in front of the tag, ours needs to be the same way too. There are certain weaknesses to that, but generally you want to have this wedge in front, that will catch the other group. You're looking to catch those that are slow, those that are not positioned correctly, those that are not moving fast enough, those that don't have stability, whatnot. Because we're looking to lower their numbers in respect to ours. We're looking to create locally outnumbered situations. Even if we have fewer numbers, where we're fighting 20 versus 40, if we can, during the fight, isolate, not fully isolate, just locally isolate. Let's say we're here, and 10 of their players are here, the other 30 are a little bit further back. All right, we're moving here, we avoid their main bomb, we hit those 10, we generate downs, we move back, we avoid we cleave them out, and so on. That's what we're looking to do. Even when we push in, if we push in, let's say we push a deep push like yesterday with Nick at night at the end, when we pushed right into Indo squad and they scattered in all directions. Now, locally, in this spot, we've got 20, and even though he has 60 all around us, in this spot, we're 20 versus 10. But we can't stay here because all of these players will recover, turn around, and start bombing this one spot. So we can exploit that numerical advantage here and then move off this way. This way, it doesn't matter. We keep moving so that they don't have time to recalibrate all of their skills towards one spot. And as long as we're moving, we're creating this constant outnumbered situation where our 20 locally outnumbers 2-1 the enemy, even though overall in the fight the enemy has more than us. Yeah, no worries. When we lead damage, there's two things, and this is important. Now, I've said before that when we are delivering damage, we want to lead them. We want to deliver the damage in front. That is true most of the time. However, there's instances where you want to deliver it behind. For example, we're pushing forward and they're backing off. The way I was saying on the bridge, like they're pushing towards us, we're doing a dodge, we're backing off. In that situation, we want to deliver damage behind the front line. If we're finding that they're backpedaling a lot, they don't have the confidence or they're not pushing us, then we want to deliver that damage behind their front line so that they're actually backpedaling into damage. Especially if their back line is too far back, that is a good strategy to use for two reasons. First, even if the front line realizes what happens and pushes forward instead, you can separate the back line that's too far back. So just sit here. Can I get about 3 people right here? 3 people right here. The rest of the group, stay where you are. Just 3 people. Just 3 people right here. Okay, stay like that. Now, imagine I am the squad. This is the main group. So they keep on backpedaling. So we deliver our lines right there, behind the main group. Now at this point, even if the front group pushes through me, just push through me. Push the front group. I push forward, and those people got isolated. We dodge through them. We get the back line. We reverse, and now they're missing numbers. Second thing, when we're doing a push, first thing you're looking for is to avoid the damage they're going to put on you. Don't worry about delivering the big hit right off the bat. Keep in mind that when we're doing the first exchange of bombs, that's usually when they have all their sustain as well. So they will likely have stability, and they will likely have ages. You do not want to be using your biggest skills on them while they have ages, because it's not the same of using a skill that does 100 damage and being blocked by ages, and a skill that does 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, whatever. So on the first push, when we're going in, we're looking for strips, we're looking for CCs, and we're looking for small fast recharge skills to strip the enemy of that initial sustain. Strip them of stability, strip them of boons, strip them of ages. After that, that's when we deliver our big bomb. So on the initial push, unless I'm calling for it, because we might have exchanged a few rounds, and at that point, I feel like they've expanded enough sustain, and they've expanded much of their bomb. They don't have too much of a counter. We're looking for that prep hit. Think of it that. So, again, enemies right there. We've exchanged some range. We're pushing in now. You're doing the prep hit. That's small stuff. Ranges, CC, strips. And now we're on top of it, and now we're delivering the big bomb. Because their Aegis is gone. Now they're getting CC'd into place. Now they're getting stripped. They don't have boons. They can't sustain it. That's when our big bomb will get the biggest effect. That's when you'll see lots of downs appear instantly. Keep in mind they're going to be doing the same thing to us. So, and that is important again. That's why it doesn't matter that we are able to sustain an exchange. We don't want to. That's why I'm calling for dodges right away. We're moving forward. We're doing a range spike, and we're dodging right away back. Why? To avoid the hits. Not so much because we can't necessarily sustain their range spike, but to avoid expanding sustained skills that can be very beneficial in the next moment. So it's important to read the fight in that essence. When the enemy is being aggressive, when the enemy is pushing, when we are on the defensive or we are sort of exchanging blows, then you want to lead the damage. You want to lead damage in front of them. So damage is being delivered in front of them. We're moving forward. Damage is being delivered in front. You're delivering it about 200 to 300 length in front. That would be about this much in front. Like this much in front. So they're running into damage. They're moving into damage. When they're being more passive, more defensive, they're pulling backwards, they're rolling backwards all the way, all the time backpedaling. Then you wanna drop it right on. You wanna drop it behind. So tag is right here, right? This is where they are. You're dropping it right there behind them, so that they're backpedaling into damage. Same thing with the bubbles, for example. So if you're a spellbreaker, right? In a situation where they're pushing into us, you're popping the bubble on top of us. So when we back off, they're pushing in, they're running into the bubble, and we're out of range, and we can actually hit them. When we are attacking them, though, if it's a straight up fight, we're exchanging blows. You want to launch yourself in front of the tag, but not too far, and pop it right there, for example. Close in front of the tag. However, if they're backpedaling, you want to launch yourself all the way through them and pop it behind them. That way they're backing into the bubble. For the best effect. Okay, any questions with what I've talked about so far? No questions. Okay. One thing I want to iterate is dodge, 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 dodge. Every single time, a dodge is the most powerful sustained skill you can have. And it also is faster than running. Not by much, but it is faster. To add to the dodge, however, I want to add the jump. Now, this is a little bit because of the way some of the skills work in WVW. Some of the skills work that with some verticality to them. Others work with zero verticality to them. So, for example, some skills, you see it. If you're in the air, you're not getting hit. So you can literally dodge over it. Your dodge is pretty long, so you can literally dodge over damage. There's also often on the ground there will be small indentations and whatnot that can stop you. So if you're seeing any kind of break in the ground that might stop your movement, just use a jump. It doesn't change anything. You can still be casting skills as you're going, and they'll still go off. Now, I'm not going to be asking of you to do dodge rolls, jump dodge rolls, because those take timing. But here's what it looks like. So you jump and then you dodge. If you can learn to do this, it takes some timing, it takes some learning. It is a powerful tool. But utilize your jumps. Utilize your jumps whenever you can. When you're moving backwards as well, you can jump back, jump to the side, whatnot. The jumping tool is a good one to use. It avoids some damage. It's not a panacea. It's not gonna save you from all kinds of damage, but it can help. Keep in mind, we don't want to do that when we are stacking to do some empowers, and there are some other verticality things that I want to go over now. Come over here just to demonstrate. Now I need here. Outer, where are you? Move yourself to subgroup 2. There we go. Okay. So just click on outer, please. Let's wait for his boons to disappear a little bit. Alright, so outer is right there. I'm right here. We're very close. You can see he's very close to me. And I'm gonna use a mantra skill right now. Oh, that worked. In WVW, however, him being that far above me, he will not get booms. Here it's working, for whatever reason. In WVW, however, it will not. So when we're on a stairs, you have to be at the same levitation. So you have to be really tight on the tag. This sort of a spread out, the normal spread out is not good enough because you're not going to be getting the booms. Especially from the firebrands, because of the way the verticality works. Yes, this is the type of stack we need to have on a staircase. Let's say we're down here and we're pushing up to hit up top here. We gotta stay this tight, both to avoid damage and to get our boons out. Keep in mind the damage works the same way. Some things it will put him flat on the stairs. And some things it will put him on a single stair moving outwards. So if you're slightly above it or slightly below it, you won't get hit by it. I cannot tell you a list of all the skills, which ones, yeah, like that one, see that one, how it extends forward. Now it will hit everything right here, but nothing below that level, below that verticality level. Now, this will hit a lot of people here, but people just below and just above will not get hit. And there's skills that will be applied flat on the stairs, like the hollow grounds, and then there's others that will not. So in terms of sustain and in terms of damage delivery, it is important to stay tight. And when we're bombing, We need to be cognizant of that so that we deliver the bomb in the right place. So if they're pushing towards us on the stairs, we want to be delivering the damage moving from top to down. So we're moving the damage downwards like this. We start at the top so that if they are pushing up, they're running into damage, and as they stop, you start delivering a little bit lower until you start getting a lot of numbers. Then you know that's the spot. Usually we want to avoid sitting on an exchange like that. Being below tends to be the better position. Being below on the flat, however, it's not. Being below just above that, it is. It's weird, and that's because of the way the verticality works in the game. I'm just telling it to you so that you're aware of these things. It's not something that you can look and think about in combat. You just need to be aware the reason why when we're on the stairs we need to be tighter together than normal. So there's moments when you need to, even if the normal ideal positioning for you is to be that far behind the attack, you need to tuck it in. Get in tight so that we can take advantage of those quirks and at the same time don't get hurt by it. Line of sight, an important concept again. So if I can get one person right there on the marker. Now, line of sight right here. We can apply damage right behind you too. Right? There we go. I'm putting it right behind, and he'll get hit. If you have the range. He cannot hit us here. His hits, he cannot see to place his hits. He can place them at the top, however he can't hit us back here. So it is important to have this distance from the top of the stairs where we can still hit them at the bottom. They can't hit us at the top. That's why it's important to be a little bit up the stairs there in that situation, so that he's not getting hit by the stuff that's being applied on the ground behind him. At the same time, we have the advantage here to move to the side, apply more damage, and then move back out of the range of that damage they can put. On the flip side, if they're at the top of the stairs, you can punish them hard, because this spot right here that is close to the edge is very easily accessible. Come down here, Newton, go up there, just reverse positions. So now he's on the edge, right? You can apply all the pressure on him, and you have all the room down here to move. And even though they're at the edge and they can deliver damage everywhere, you can just move left and right, avoid it, and just keep applying damage up top. And when they start backing off, you're moving in like this, and then you have better line of sight a little bit further that you can apply damage there. That is the reason why you move up a little bit up the stairs, so that you can apply damage further down. This is important on lords when we're pushing into a big group that's camping on the lord, for example. Right? Let's see if we can find right here. These stairs are good.
Map's gonna close in 30 seconds.
So let's say up top here is the lord. This is ends. This is the ramp. So we're moving up halfway up the ramp, and we're applying the damage up top. We don't need to go all the way up. They will have a hard time applying damage on top of us here. Oh shit. Map instance? Okay. Alright, go out of the guild hall, or just take the thing and come back in. We'll just finish with that. I mean, this will be the end for today. and then we'll go run in WVW. All right, actually, let's finish it here. I'll show this once we go inside the WVW instead of just wasting time on this. People coming in and out of instances and stuff. So let's go. Let's see what map.
WFA is on Home BO. IV is on EBG fighting Void. Let's see. I think that's about it.
That's our home. We have all of red.
Green has one of our keeps on home.
Yeah, all right. Let's start with home BL. We're going to go to blue BL, and then we'll see after that. Everybody go